What is up, you guys? Shannon here. So I was just out bushwalking and I managed to catch this little guy. So yeah, this is a water skink native to New South Wales. Very common type of skink. They're found all over eastern Australia, all around the water. This is about almost maximum size. They don't get too big. But yeah, they're a very common skink. Strictly carnivorous. They only eat insects and other small lizards if they can catch them. And their main defense is just to jump into the water and swim away. Being a skink, they can drop their tails, so you've got to be careful handling them, not to pull on their tail or anything. Very territorial skink as well. I've had these in captivity before. Extremely territorial. I had 3 of them together in a tank and they were fine because they'd grown up together. Introducing a 4th one, they just tried to kill it, so I had to separate them. One other little thing that I just noticed of this guy, and I'm going to help him with this. If you look on his back foot here, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but if the camera's going to see that bump, this big bulbous thing on his back foot here. I don't know if you guys can see it, the camera's not really picking it up, but this big bump here, that's a tick. That tick is full of blood. So I'm going to do this fella a little favour and take this tick off before I let him go. So oop, don't bite. He's not going to like this either, because ticks have hook-like legs which dig under the flesh a little bit when they clamp onto an animal. So it's not going to come off overly easy. You've got to be careful not to squeeze the tick either, because when you take a tick off, if you squeeze it, you can squeeze toxins into the animal from the tick. So, and I'm on really unsteady ground here. So I really wish I bought tweezers now. Sorry guys, I'm just really trying to be careful here. It's hard because it's a small lizard too, it's like really delicate. Settle down, settle down. That tick's just not letting go. There's actually 2 of them. There's one under another. And he's weeing on me, fantastic. Okay. Got it. Ah, gotcha. Look at that. Oops, and it fell. Well, you saw it for a second, it's gone now. And there's a couple more on here I'm just going to pull off real quick, smaller ones. There's another one. Almost done, buddy. Come on, hold on. And the 3rd. Gross. I think that's all of them. See what's happened here? He's missing one of his toes. And what would have happened when whatever happened, how he lost this toe, there would have been an open wound at some point. And that's what those ticks have burrowed into. I'll just check him over, make sure there's nothing else. He looks pretty okay other than that. Alright, we'll go let him go now. Alright little buddy, off you go. Come on. He's still in shock, I think. Playing dead. There he goes. Come on. Off you go. And he's off. Well, that's that, guys. First animal of the day. We'll try and find something a little bit bigger this time. Oh, okay, guys. It has been a long day out here. Finally got one. I probably would have seen about 50 of these, but I could only catch this guy. These are incredibly fast. This is the eastern water dragon. This is probably the largest dragon species in all of Australia, if not the heaviest dragon species. This one is a big male. You can tell it's a male. He's got a bright orange belly. The males also have a much larger head than the females do. Sorry guys, I'm kind of puffed out. I had a bit of a chase to wasp on my leg. Okay. Bit of a chase to, sorry guys, there's this wasp that's been hustling me. Okay, there's a bit of a chase to catch this guy, so yeah, but I finally got him. These are a very athletic lizard. As you can see, they've got very long claws, so they're great climbers, great jumpers. They can actually run up on 2 legs as well as 4, so they're incredibly fast. Very flat paddle-like tail for swimming. They're very aquatic actually. These guys are always found near the water, nowhere else. Their main means of defense is to jump into the water when something threatens them. They'll swim down to the bottom and hang on to the bottom of the river and just hold their breath until the danger is gone. Sorry guys, there's this big wasp, keeps landing on my leg. Yeah, so what was I saying? They swim down to the bottom, hang on to the bottom of the river, and they can hold their breath for up to 15 minutes, so yeah. They're an omnivorous lizard. They eat vegetation, fruit, flowers, as well as insects and small lizards and little creatures they can catch. Very good eyesight as well. They're a fairly intelligent dragon, to be honest. I've had these as pets before. Very intelligent as far as dragons go, but they don't make good pets. Because as far as dragons go, these guys, these guys don't tame down very well. Even in captivity, they stay quite wild. As you can see, they're very strong, very sharp claws. You notice when you flip them on the back like this, they play dead. Something a lot of dragon species do, but mainly water dragons. If you ever catch one, you hold it on its back, it'll just play dead. So it makes handling it a little bit easier. Now, one thing I've noticed straight away with this guy, which is pretty much the same problem the water skink I caught had. Look on his head. Look at that. Look at the size of that tick. That is huge. That's almost as big as a 5-cent piece. So we're going to get this tick off him before I let him go. Okay, hold still, buddy. And you see another feature the males have that the females don't have quite as obvious, this crest. Male water dragons have this big nice crest on the back of the neck and these big spikes. The females have it too, but it's quite petite compared to the males. The males also have, I'll show you without getting bitten. Hold on. Nice big gels here, which the females again don't have. This is what the males use to show off to the females. Alright, so I'm going to try and get this tick off him, but I have to hold his head still because he's not going to like this and he might try and bite. So I'll put it up to the camera so you guys can see. Now with these ticks, again, you don't want to squeeze them. This big body's full of blood, but it's also got venom in there, or depending what type of tick it is, but if it's a paralysis tick, then you don't want to squeeze that venom into the lizard because you can kill him. So, as I said before with the water skink, I wish I had tweezers. This would be so much easier. I'll just use my fingernail to push the ticks, get under the tick's head. Doesn't want to let go, eh? Better find something to use. I think this tick's quite big and it's got a much stronger hold than the other little ones. I think I can get it with my hands. One second guys, sorry I'm trying to improvise. Use a little stick, see if I can just scrape it off. That is a huge tick. There we go. Gone. Well, it's fallen down a crevice, so I can't show you. But you, my friend, are now tick-free. As far as I can see, don't have any others on you. You can tell this is the dominant male in this particular area of the river. Other than the fact that he's huge, he's got scars all over him. See here, his tail spikes here. They've been flat. There's some missing, some that are a bit disfigured. He's had a fight for something. He's got a scar right there too, that's healed over. Scar on his tail there that's healed over. So yeah. What I want to do, I'll show you the teeth on these guys. These guys have very sharp teeth because their diet consists of vegetation and live animals. They have pretty sharp teeth to deal with everything, so I can show you his teeth are getting bitten. Oh, there he goes, look at that. You can just see those teeth there. You gonna open up again? There he goes. So they're little triangular teeth, they're quite sharp. These guys have very strong jaws, so you don't want to get bitten by them. I mean, worst case, yeah, it's going to hurt. Possibly will break the skin. Well, one this size is almost guaranteed to break the skin, but that's about it, really. Quite a beefy dragon, these guys. Yeah, these are the heaviest dragon lizard in Australia. They're probably not the longest, but they're definitely the heaviest. As big as this guy is, he's not fully grown. He will get at least double this size. Water dragons get quite large. This one is the biggest one I've seen today, but I've seen them bigger. And he's due to shed soon because he's quite brown and pale. Water dragons are normally quite colourful. They normally have nice bands going along their back. They're more grey and white, not so much brown, so he's just due to shed soon, I think. But yeah, they're quite a nice looking lizard. Hold on. Alright, so I lost my balance there. One of the other things they'll do, they will tail whip. As you can see, the tail's quite flat, so they'll whip that around and whip you with it. It does actually hurt quite a bit. Alright, so we'll let him go now. Got a big tick off his head, so hopefully you don't get any more. Alright, so let's face the camera. Here you go. Let's bring the camera over here where we're going to let him go. Just saw another one. Just jumped in the water behind me. So yeah, they're everywhere. That's the thing, these guys literally are everywhere. But they're not easy to catch. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. Doing this on my phone with a little flimsy tripod, so yeah. Okay. So hopefully he's going to run straight past the camera into the water. Once he realises that I've let him go. Wake up. Wake up. And he's away. So you can see him just chilling in the pool. I just let him go as you saw, and he just ran past the camera, jumped in the water, and just decided to sit there. That's part of his defense mechanism, to just jump in the water and hold on until the prey goes. Sorry, until the predator disappears. So he'll sit there till he feels it's safe to climb back up on land again, and then he'll get back to doing his thing. Alright guys, so we're here at night time now. Just around the back of this drop. Found a little something. Okay. So this, you guys, is the leaf-tailed gecko. This is the eastern leaf-tailed gecko. Obviously native to eastern Australia. These are a strictly nocturnal lizard. Being a gecko, they don't have eyelids, so they have to lick their eyes to clean them. Strictly insectivorous, so they only eat insects, nothing else. And this is about full grown. These guys mainly live in the rock crevices. They like the cool, damp environment. They're actually the only arboreal gecko species that has claws, not suction cups. All the other arboreal species have suction cups. So this one is a female as well. Leaf-tailed geckos are very much like skinks, where they actually can drop their tail as a defense and they'll just regrow another one. They also use their tail as fat storage, so you can tell if a gecko is healthy or not by how fat its tail is. So yeah, they're quite a nice little gecko species. They are capable of making noise as well. He's not doing it right now, but they can do it. Seems to have calmed down quite well. If you guys want to get a close-up on his face there, you can see they don't have any eyelids. Okay, so we'll chuck him back and see what else we can find tonight. So all we have here is a millipede. There's various different species. They're found all over the world. They're completely harmless. They're strictly vegetarians. They eat rotting wood and rotting leaves and rotting fruit in some areas. The rainforest millipedes will eat rotting fruit as well as the rotting wood. They vary in sizes between 3 centimeters to 15 centimeters depending on the species. Their only means of defense is they have a hard exoskeleton and they curl up in a ball when they feel threatened. But they also can release formic acid out of their skin, which is why I'm not poking him right now. As long as he doesn't feel threatened, he won't squirt his formic acid. If any of you don't know what formic acid smells like, it smells extremely citrusy. It's the same stuff that stink bugs produce. And yeah, if you poke him, your hands will smell like formic acid. It's also waterproof, so it doesn't wash off easy. Makes him very unappetizing to potential predators. They take one bite of him, get a mouthful of formic acid and spit him straight back out. So he's quite content sitting there at the moment. He's just cleaning his legs. Yeah, very common species. They're found everywhere. So we'll set him down and continue looking for other things. Okay. Oh, this is actually really bad. It's like really uneven ground. Just gotta move slowly. Alright, so this is an eastern water dragon, same as the big one I caught earlier in the daytime. So yeah, I caught him sleeping, so I had the advantage this time. Didn't have as much trouble as last time when I was catching him. Oh, I'm out of breath from that. It's just, yeah. So this one, unlike the other one I caught, is a female. You can see the difference on this one compared to the other one in the head size. And like I said before with the other ones, sometimes turn them on their back. Sometimes they play dead, sometimes they don't. I guess this one's not gonna. We'll just give her a second. She'll tire out. Yeah, they got very sharp claws. Settle down, settle down. Relax, relax. Okay. Now, you'll notice this one's got a much smaller head than the other one I caught, and the crest on its back, on the back of the neck here, is much smaller. That's the trait of the female. The males have the big heads and the big crest. She's not quite fully grown. She'll get about double this size, but she's still a decent size. And yeah, she's scratched me to bits. You'll also notice this one, being a female, doesn't really have the orange belly like the male had. Yeah. Quite lucky to find this one. We normally don't find water dragons at night. So, bright orange eyes as well. So these lizards have incredibly good eyesight, and as I was saying before with the male I caught, they're an omnivorous lizard. They'll eat pretty much anything, vegetation and insects. Very sharp teeth. Yeah, she wants to bite me. Yeah. Alright, well, we'll let her go. She'll take right off. Okay guys, so what I found here is a dwarf green stream frog. Now this one is a large male. I just found him behind me in the creek. They're a very common frog native to Eastern Australia in New South Wales. This is about maximum size. They are technically a type of green tree frog species, although they're more commonly known as the dwarf green stream frog. Being a frog, strictly insectivorous, so they only eat insects. And they do have suction cupped feet. Not overly an aquatic frog either. They'll hang near the water, but they're not really big on swimming or going in it. They just sit next to the water's edge in their little tuft of grass, croaking to the females, like you can hear behind me. A lot of them being very noisy right now. Only the males do the croaking, the females are silent. They're capable of croaking, but they don't. Males do all the work and call out to the females. And these guys, once the male mates with the female will then go off and she'll lay her eggs. So they'll lay their eggs in a cluster on a leaf or in some vegetation at the water's edge. Eventually those eggs will hatch into tadpoles, which then turn into these guys. So they're quite a cute little species of frog, I must say so, even though they are extremely loud. But very common species, found all over New South Wales, in ponds and streams and rivers, found in people's houses sometimes. See, they're quite a common frog. But they're quite cute. Oop. And he's off. Oh, there he goes. Whoop. And he's off again. Trying to keep a hold of him. It's quite the little cutie. It's suddenly gone silent. It's either all croaking or none are croaking. Well, I'm going to go pop him back. We'll see what else we can find.